Hello everybody, once again, it is time for Radio Icebox, Season 2, Episode 5. Today's episode entitled, Houston, We Have Your Problem. I want to take a brief moment now and thank the wonderful folks who help make these shows possible. Our patron of the episode is Judy Traylor. Judy, thank you so much for joining the fun. Our members that we want to point out today that help support the Icebox Radio Theater, Robert Devine and Tara Toma, brand new members here of the IBRT. Thank you so much, folks. And our super member, that is, of course, a member who is both a voting member of the IBRT as well as a patron on Patreon. Our super member this month, Gary Starr. Gary, thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. If you would like some more information about becoming a member or a patron of the Icebox Radio Theater, just visit our website, iceboxradio.org. And now, on with the show. It's Episode 5, Houston, We Have Your Problem.
Good morning, Icebox. It's 6 a.m. on the edge of America, and it's looking like a beautiful day is on the way soon. That is after sunup in about 3 hours. We're hoping everything's cozy where you are. It's nice and toasty here in the Opera House, and we're ready to bring your day to life with, well, mostly the same stuff we do every other day. But what are you going to do? This is Icebox. We're your radio station. It's January. Everywhere. More after this. Hi, it's Woody again, reminding you that I got a tackle store with all the stuff you need, and a really nice pot-bellied stove if you just want to come down. I know there ain't nothing but ice fishing this time of year, but we got tackle for that. That's what floats your boat. Otherwise, just, come on down. I promise the usual gang around the stove won't bother you none. I had a talk with Sid number 2 about, showering. He smells a lot better now, and next time Letty jumps to conclusions about the sexier kid, he's out on his ear, I promise. So come on down to Woody's, your winter headquarters for waiting on spring.
Woody's Bait Shop and Guide Service on Beach Avenue in Icebox. Open alternating Tuesdays 1 to 5.
I'd give my left nut for a new face around here.
Woody's!
So we're back. Hi, Abby.
Hi, JJ. You always do the news with your feet on the desk?
Not time for news. We have to begin the broadcast day with community announcements, I've decided.
We always start with the weather.
They don't want to hear the weather.
I think we need to start with the weather, JJ.
Okay, folks, Abby feels we need to start with the weather.
We always start with the weather.
So don't blame me.
What?
Snow showers tonight, followed by a high-pressure system moving in. That'll lower our temperatures into the minus 20 range for the next week. No wind, thank goodness, so with a decent coat, only the very young and the very old should be in danger of losing their lives.
JJ.
All right, you're right. Everyone's in danger.
Give me that. Environment Canada predicts a widespread loss of perspective this next week as people consider moving to the southern U.S., only to change their minds after remembering the American political system. Checking the almanac now, we are on pace for an average snow year, and City Hall reminds everyone to please move the snow from your driveways and sidewalks out of the way and not into the street where it can interfere with mail delivery.
Or pizza delivery.
That too. Currently 14 in Icebox, 15 in International Falls, Fort Francis minus 11 Celsius. The temperature inside your body is 98.6 and inside mine 50 degrees. Can we turn up the heat in here, please?
Thermostat's busted, just wear mucklucks. 15 past the hour and time for your community announcements. From Jerry to Mildred, yes.
Pete Peterson would like to warn the kids using the fish houses in his backyard as a place to smoke and neck that he bought ammo for his gun.
Ice thickness out past Pierre's Resort is 24 inches.
The mayor's skull is reportedly 14 inches.
And finally, this message from Heather to Justin. I'd like to go to Snowball with you, but I'm washing my hair all that week. Get it? Ha ha.
Ooh, ouch.
Sorry, Justin, but just in case all you kids in Icebox think this kind of thing would be better with Facebook, trust me, it won't.
20 past the hour.
Time now for news headlines on Radio Icebox. This is Igor Brooks-Wilder reporting. A flock of angry birds attacked Charlotte O'Connor's organic pig farm yesterday, leaving 2 of Charlotte's 6 swine with minor injuries and the other 4 in a state of high anxiety. I don't know what brought it on, O'Connor said in a recent interview. 1 minute, Wilbur and Babe were minding their own business. The next, this flock of crows started dive-bombing them with sticks and rocks and such. O'Connor went on to state that the event left her pigs cowering in a corner of the barn, while the birds continued to drop various found items on the barn roof for the next 15 minutes. After that, the birds simply flew off and disappeared. And in the most bizarre development, O'Connor claims to have heard a toilet flush just before the attack abated. It's so weird, O'Connor said. It was like that flush sound came from the sky. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I think that's what was controlling the birds. The State Department of Agriculture has not, as of yet, returned Charlotte's calls. Terrorism concerns are being cited for a recent appearance of shadowy men in black at the Ladden home on River Avenue. The men appeared around 3 p.m. Tuesday and demanded entrance to the home, where they searched the room of Ladden's 13-year-old son, Alvin, and removed an antique lamp that Alvin had recently acquired at a garage sale. Alvin protested fiercely and was nearly detained by the shadowy symbols of a secret government before being restrained by his mother, who assured him that, quote, "You'll see your friend again very soon." When questioned about the reason for their actions, the MIBs would only state official concerns about unlimited power compressed into a tiny little living space. The Laddens were paid $14 for their loss of property under eminent domain.
Hi, this is Dave at Lake Grocery, inviting everyone in for our annual Scratch and Dent meat sale in the meat department on Thursday. We'll have dented chuck at $3 a pound, damaged grand round at just $4.99, and of course, the mystery chicken is always 99 cents, no returns, please. And as a reminder to the lizard people, there is no discount if you consume the meat there at the counter. That's Lake Grocery on Main Street in Icebox. Credit available, but the smiles are always free at Lake Grocery.
Have passed the hour, and JJ?
Yes?
We do have Pat on the line from Lake Grocery with some news about the big Scratch and Dent sale. Can you hear us, Pat?
Sure, yeah, real good. Hey, Dave wanted me to call and tell you guys to quit talking about the meat sale.
Oh, is something wrong?
No, of course not. It's just, things got a little complicated down here. There's all these turkeys out in the parking lot, and they're kind of looking at the store mean-like.
I'm sorry, Pat. Did you say there were live turkeys down at the Lake Grocery store?
Yeah, they're in the parking lot. They're sort of milling around, staring at the store. I don't want to jump to no conclusions or nothing, but I think they're organizing an attack.
Will the store be open usual hours, Pat?
Yeah, not sure. Dave said to maybe play that one by ear, you know?
Okay, so there are turkeys mobilizing down at Lake Grocery.
Oh, God, they're coming through the windows.
Maybe we should get someone down there to see what's going on?
I'm not going down there.
Yeah, well, folks, you might want to avoid Lake Grocery until further notice.
And when it's done, they'll probably have a bunch more turkeys available.
Yeah, that's right. Radio Icebox Playhouse is right after this. Hi, this is Larry down at Icebox Hardware. Now, I put out the snowblowers and the shovels, but I don't want no trouble this year, okay? Last year I done this and all you people coming to store blaming me for the snow. Now, any person with a brain in his head knows that's not how weather works. It's gonna snow whether I put out the shovels or not, so I'll make you a deal. If no one comes in this week complaining about having to look at shovels and road salt and such, I promise I'll put up the lawn furniture inside the store.
Icebox Hardware, your headquarters for spring, summer, and miscellaneous.
If you're real nice, I might even put out the seed catalog, so please, can we just all get along?
Next to the Nutcase newspaper on Lake Street.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening again. You're listening to Radio Icebox in Icebox, Minnesota. Want to jump in real quick and give you an update on our campaign to get the singing pipes down here in the Opera House fixed. It isn't going very well, so we just want to remind everybody what's happening. The building's old. The boiler's great. The boiler will never quit. It was installed in 1905, so we expect it to just keep going. But gosh darn it if some of those pipes don't ring a little bit, which is sort of a problem here in radio drama land. So we have set up a special thing with our new internet feed. If you haven't had a chance to come down to the Busy Bee or the liquor library or just park in the side parking lot and check out our free Wi-Fi, the only Wi-Fi in town, it's really quite a deal.
and we want to let you know about a special service where not only you can get some wonderful stories, but we can actually get some financial help to take care of, the pipes and maybe the roof and, stuff. Anyway, it's audibletrial.com/IBRT. Now, this is for a service called Audible, which has audiobooks or books on tape like they check out at the library, long-form stories, all kinds of different stories, including nonfiction like books on plumbing repair, or perhaps H.P. Lovecraft stories that take place in a cavern somewhere. It's a wonderful service, and if you go to audibletrial, that's one word, .com/IBRT, you can sign up for a free audiobook. And when you do that at that particular page, we here at Radio Icebox, we get a little kickback, or get a little help for some of the financial matters that we have here. Now, we thank you so much for listening. We thank all of our local businesses for the wonderful commercials they run on our station. But this is a way for you folks listening in to actually help. So just drive down to the liquor library or to our parking lot, or heck, the lobby's open most days. You can just come in and use the Wi-Fi there. And the address again is audibletrial.com/IBRT. And if you don't get any of that, just find a teenager. I'm sure they'll be able to help. You're listening to Radio Icebox. Well, it's time once again for Radio Icebox Playhouse, our premier show of shows here on your community station. And tonight we turn back the clocks to a much warmer time, summer. Last year, the Radio Icebox Actors Guild journeyed up the road to International Falls for a live show on the bandshell stage in the world-famous Smoky Bear Park. And with it being so cold outside, we're happy to bring a recording of that performance to you now. So stay tuned for Fire Maidens of the Death Sun, right now, on Radio Icebox Playhouse.
I never saw eye to eye with my father. Not since I was little, anyway.
Dad?
Looking back now, I'm surprised we didn't kill each other, or worse. But we didn't. And it was that 19th year, my last one at home, that made all the difference.
Dad, have you seen my tempura headdress?
Your what?
That's Dad. Or that was Dad, a few years ago. Or at least that's how I remember him. And the girl, that was me.
I told you not to move it. Why did you move it?
I didn't touch anything.
Well, it was right here. It was in a white box.
Well, why didn't you say so? It's in the pantry.
I thought you said you didn't move it.
In the pantry.
That was us most of the time. Or at least it had been for the previous few years. Mom had passed when I was little, just 4. Dad had done the best he could, as they say, and for the first decade or so I was a regular little tomboy. Fishing with him all summer long, going up the shack on opening weekend.
Just wait.
I think I can hit him.
You don't shoot until you're sure, Cora. Otherwise, you'll end up chasing him through 5 miles of brush.
Things changed when I was about 13, like they're wont to. And it wasn't boys that caused us to grow apart. It was books. Books and movies and radio shows. There was a bookshelf in our attic filled with titles that had belonged to Mom. Dad never had the strength to throw them out, I guess. One cold winter, I started spending time up there, and I met Bilbo Baggins and the Dragon Riders of Pern, and Lovecraft and Ray Bradbury, and especially The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was great escaping into fantasy realms with the others, but that last book was the one that made the change. Hitchhiker's Guide made it all seem so cool.
What? You still reading that book?
Rereading.
What's so funny?
Oh, you wouldn't understand.
And it wasn't long after that I went to my first convention, which led to costuming, cosplay for those of you in the know, which by and by did lead to boys, leading to more conventions. Dad never changed. He owned a bait shop and guide service, and his customers were steady, if not frequent. When college time came around, I chose the cities and a theater degree. You can imagine how that went over.
Oh, boy.
But it was my life and mostly my scholarships and student loans, so it was my decision. Best one I ever made. Everyone in the theater department was so alive, so passionate. Nothing at all like home.
I said the white box.
Which brings us to this scene. The white hat box with a headdress I'd worked on for 6 months, and Dad looking on disapprovingly. I still think he might have hid it on purpose.
Found it.
This was the summer after my freshman year. I went home to my mother's sewing machine in the attic with a plan to design and build a new costume for 6, count 'em 6, conventions that summer. I was full of plans and full of myself, like you generally are at that age. And it was all coming together for me. And I would learn later, coming apart for Dad.
Why Madison?
Coming apart at the seams.
What?
I say, why Madison? It's so far.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's so far. Why not just go to that one in the cities?
If you were paying any attention at all, you know that Convergence is not until July. Comic-Con Madison is this weekend.
Why can't you go to the other?
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
But it's all the way in Madison. How you gonna...
I have a ride from Duluth. I can take the bus that far.
The bus?
Yes, Father. I am, not as yet, too dignified for the bus.
Well, how about this ride? Who are you riding with?
A friend.
Someone you met at one of your conventions, I bet?
It is, as a matter of fact. Well, sort of.
What's that mean?
And don't worry about it.
I'm going to worry about it when my daughter's going to take off clear across the country with a perfect stranger.
He's not a stranger.
He? It's a boy?
He's not a stranger. I met his sister at Anime Detour last year. We're going to pick her up in St. Paul, and then we'll head over.
Well, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Besides,
What?
Well, I seen the calendar you put up. You're going to be gone practically every weekend this summer.
I'm only going to 6 cons. That means only half of the summer.
School year be back before you know it.
Not soon enough.
What's that?
Nothing. I said, I know.
It's just... Well, I worry about you, Cora. What?
Nothing.
What? You don't think I worry? Here you are riding all over the country for these parties?
They're not parties. They're conventions.
I seen your pictures. They look like parties to me.
You have no idea what a convention is like. We discuss books, favorite movies, and they're a great resource for a customer.
I seen those pictures, you know.
What pictures?
These here. I think you was in Fargo that weekend.
Since when are you on Facebook?
From the looks of these pictures, your friends need an awful lot of beer to have intellectual discussions.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You drinking at these parties, Cora?
No, I'm only 19.
Oh, well, I guess that makes it impossible, but if one of those parties should get raided, you could end up in jail. What would that do to your scholarships? You thought of that? What?
Raided? They aren't speakeasies, Dad. And I think they repealed prohibition.
Not for 19-year-olds, they didn't.
I am not drinking.
Everyone else seemed to be.
Do you see me drinking in any of these photos?
Of course not. You were the one with the camera.
Then you'll have to take my word for it. There. That's the last one.
All right, then.
What?
Oh, nothing. You set on going?
Of course. What is it?
I don't know. I just thought... You and I haven't been fishing in a long time. What?
Nothing.
Oh, no, what? You made the little noise like your mom used to make.
You want to take me fishing?
Yes.
For the first time in how many years?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose you were about 15?
So why do you want to go now?
Well, I had an open day, and I thought you may be able to skip one of those conventions for once and go out with your old man.
Why don't you just go out on your own?
I want to take you.
Uh-huh. Sure you do.
What's this about now?
I can see right through you, Dad. I've always been able to see right through you.
What?
You don't have a job this weekend.
So? I mean, no, I don't, but what?
You're a fishing guide. It's June, and you've got no clients. It'd be better for you to be seen with somebody than on your own.
Well, that's
Did you want me to go in costume? Maybe I can come up with some disguise.
Is it so impossible that I just wanted to take you fishing?
It seems a little unlikely, yes. You haven't asked me in 4 years.
I didn't think you'd want to go.
Well, you didn't ask. Excuse me, I gotta walk downtown. The bus leaves in 20 minutes.
I'll drive you.
You don't.
You got 3 suitcases. Don't be stubborn.
Thank you for the ride.
Yep. Bus isn't here yet.
They're generally late.
Yep. Sorry, Sorry.
What?
Just saying, I'm sorry if I made things weird back there.
Oh.
But I didn't want to take you out just to have someone in the boat. That ain't the way it is.
Okay.
I mean, well, everyone knows you. They know you weren't no customer. I wanted to go fishing with you.
Let's go when I get back. Some weekday, when you don't have a customer.
Thought you had a lot of sewing to do.
I have 2 weeks before Fargo. There's plenty of time.
Oh. Well, all right then. We'll plan on it.
All right. Why do you want to go fishing with me?
What?
Why do you want to go fishing? I mean, why now? It's been 4 years.
Well, I don't know, I guess. I mean, when you were at home, felt like we had all the time in the world. Just got away from me.
You could have asked any time.
Maybe.
What do you mean?
Well, I did ask once. You were, about 16, about the time you were dating that boy from Little Fork.
Darren? And for the last time, we weren't dating.
Oh, whatever you say, Cora.
Dad, Darren did not date me. He did not date any girls. Understand?
Oh.
Right.
Oh, that explains why he was always over here using your sewing machine.
Whatever. I don't remember you ever asking me to go fishing.
Oh, wasn't anything to remember. You were on your way somewhere. I asked you if you want to go out that weekend, and you just...
What? I just what?
You laughed at me, rolled your eyes, and made a big chuckle.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. You were only 16. I suppose in your world, my kind of man's pretty ridiculous.
No.
It's the way of things, ain't it? You're growing up, that's all. Couldn't expect you to be a guide for a living.
No.
Not with a theater arts degree, anyway.
Don't start.
I'm not starting anything.
Yes, you are. And what's wrong with theater arts?
Nothing.
I'm good at it. I'm on the dean's list.
I'm sure Dean's very happy about that.
No, dean's list.
I know what it means. I ain't stupid.
I know that. I don't know what I am. Tired of fighting, I guess.
I'm not fighting.
You're snipping away at me. And I don't even know why. Don't I have the right to pick my own major?
Well, of course you do.
And it's not like there's a ton of jobs out there. If I'm going to spend all my money and get a degree, I want it to be for something I love doing.
That's some attitude.
Would you rather me be a lawyer or something?
I just want you to be okay. And it seems to me that these costumes and these conventions are just a big waste of time.
You don't understand.
Oh, I understand plenty. I ain't that different from when you used to play dress up and after your mom died, I just...
What? You just what?
I just wanted you to be okay. You know, happy?
You don't think I'm not happy doing this?
Well, no, I imagine you are for now. But what happens in a few years when there ain't student loan checks and then the rent comes due?
I'll deal with that when it comes.
That ain't no way planned for your future, Cora.
You know something better?
Yeah. You could get yourself a degree with a future. Something you could rely on.
Like what?
Well, Pete Torgeson's daughter's going into accounting.
Heather always loved math. I got C's.
Well, why not a lawyer? You talk real good.
Dad.
I don't know, just something. I never was good with words. I'm just not saying it right.
I get it. My life isn't good enough for you.
No!
No? Then what is it about? I don't understand.
I just don't like the idea of you down there in the cities and in some apartment, winter coming on, and no money for heat. I just don't like it.
The cities?
Sure. That's where you live, isn't it?
You thought I was moving to the cities.
What?
Dad, let me show you something. You see this dress?
Oh, of course.
This is an original Thentira from the Fire Maidens of Death Sun. It's a cult movie classic from the 50s. The movie was ridiculous, but some of the costumes designs were groundbreaking.
Okay.
A girl at my school commissioned this from me. I'm taking it to her now. She can only pay me about $50, but she's gorgeous. And when she wears this dress in a masquerade, her picture's going to be all over Instagram.
What the hell's Instagram?
It's an internet thing. Point is, people are going to see this, and they're going to ask about the dress, and they're going to want to know who made it. And that leads to commissions. Costumes for theater, cosplay for conventions. I can sew, Dad. I can sew really, really well.
So could your mom.
You can make a living doing this. There's already a woman mentoring me. We met on the last con. You can actually do this for a living, but you gotta get out there and get seen. That's why I go to conventions.
Make a living?
Right.
Sewing?
Costume building, but yeah.
And you can afford rent in the cities on this?
Dad, I never was gonna move to the cities, not permanently. Don't you see? Building these costumes is a way I can stay here.
Oh.
I mean, I'd need to go down to the cities probably a couple times a month for fittings and such, and I'll need to start going to the national conventions if I'm going to make it. But you got to have a home base. I just figured my home base could be home.
Oh.
I mean, I'd work on getting my own place. Maybe a house with a couple of girls.
You weren't planning to leave?
Never. This is home. It'll always be home. And if I can do my job on the internet...
But how much can you make doing costumes for conventions and such?
Dad, how much did you ever make being a guide? Did you do it because of the money or because you love to fish?
I suppose, yeah.
I learned it from you, Dad. Do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Grandpa used to say that.
I know.
Bus.
Bus is here.
Yeah. You got everything?
I got everything. Thanks for the ride.
Sure. Cora?
Yeah?
Fishing when you get back?
Yeah. Bye, Daddy. I love you.
I love you too, sweetheart. Have fun.
Okay.
And not too much drinking.
Okay.
Radio Icebox will be back with the rest of the story right after this. It can be in the sound of the orchestra preparing, or in the sound of a sculptor working in stone, or even in the sound of laughter from inside a theater. It is the sound of art being created, and for over 3 decades, the sound of art being created has rung loud and clear in northeastern Minnesota. The Arrowhead Regional Arts Council has been encouraging local arts development in northeastern Minnesota through grants and services for over 35 years. Every year, they give out more than $500,000 to local artists and arts organizations, and that helps create $40 million in revenue and jobs created. To find out more about our arts programs or how you can get involved, visit aracouncil.org. The Arrowhead Regional Arts Council, where the arts flourish, you thrive.
Isn't he cute?
He's creepy.
Abby, you can't keep the duck.
Oh, why not?
Don't you think it's a little unsafe?
Unsafe? How?
That duck opened a portal to another dimension.
It did?
Isn't that what you saw? I mean, whatever that was, it looked a lot like a portal to me.
And what exactly makes you an expert on dimensional portals?
The fact that I traveled back and forth between dimensions just last year.
Well, I traveled too, and there's no way Ducky here had anything to do with it.
Ducky. You're naming him Ducky?
Why not?
A little bit on the nose, isn't it? You should call him something witty and ironic, like, a foghorn or Bugs.
I don't get it.
Never mind.
You can't keep the duck. The duck is evidence.
For what? A murder trial?
Having to do with that, yeah.
You can't keep the duck. None of you can.
Hi, Major. How's Cody?
A little shaken up, but fine. That maniac had him tied to a chair. No idea what he would have done next.
Best not to think about it.
It's kind of hard with him still out there, walking free, maybe floating free. Kind of depends on the dimension, I guess.
Back up. What's this about my duck?
He's your duck now?
The duck needs to come home with me.
Why?
Oh, because the dimensional rift appeared at exactly the same time he did. You don't think that's a coincidence, do you?
What are you saying? Bugs the duck is a dimensional portal?
Or he can open them, yeah.
Why would a duck open a dimensional portal and he's named Bugs?
Sure.
Yeah, I like that.
Do not name the duck. He's evidence in a criminal investigation.
And a violation of the laws of physics.
A violation? Or an element that expands our understanding of the laws of physics?
Well, she's got me there.
Doesn't matter. It's evidence.
You sure you want to do that, though?
Yes, I am sure I want to do that. Fine. Why shouldn't I include the duck in the investigation?
Well, I was just thinking, you're going to call in the county forensics team to deal with the head and the crisper, right?
Of course. And you know I don't have the resources to work a crime scene like that.
So do you really want to explain to the sheriff's office that your suspect disappeared into a portal created by a duck? Or would you rather just tell him the suspect ran off into the woods and you couldn't pursue because you were the only officer on the scene and you had injured people to deal with?
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right. But that duck doesn't leave this police station.
I will need to examine it.
Go ahead. You can use the interrogation room.
Does that have linoleum floors? There might be some cleanup involved.
Whoa, wait a minute. When you say examine, what exactly do you mean?
Trying to determine why this animal is capable of opening dimensional portals via a thorough check of its entire anatomy.
This wouldn't include a dissection, would it?
Maybe.
No.
Now, Abby.
No way. This duck has been through a lot, and so have I, and he's not going to be cut up just to satisfy some scientific curiosity.
Oh, it's not just curiosity. There's safety to think about, too. We don't know what this duck is. We're not even sure it really is a duck.
Sam, do you want to catch Mr. Rogers?
Of course.
And didn't he escape through a portal opened by this duck?
Well, all right, yes.
Then do you really want to kill the duck that might be your only way to catch Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, she's got you there, Major.
Oh, fine. I didn't bring my dissection kit anyway.
Thank you.
But that duck still needs a thorough exam. I have to at least try to understand what it is.
Cody, are you okay?
Should you be up?
It's all right. I'm fine.
Oh, son, you really should be laying down.
No time. You have to come back to the radio station, all of you. There's something I have to show you.
This had better be good.
It is.
And fast. I want to get back to the station before Abby absconds with the duck.
There's a sentence you don't hear every day.
She wouldn't just take off, would she?
If I told her not to leave, she'd be out the door in a second. But you're an officer of the law, so I think you're okay.
Good.
Besides, Major said he'd stay with her.
Just until he was done with his investigation. How long is this going to take, Cody?
Not too long. Unless Mr. Rogers deleted stuff.
You mean you don't know?
I was busy being unconscious. I didn't notice much of anything he did.
Right.
But Yes, everything's here.
So everything's okay.
The Icebox Killer.
The what?
The Icebox Killer.
Have we had a murder in town, Sam?
No, you don't understand. In Houston, there's a famous murder case called the Icebox Murders. A man named Charles Rogers killed his elderly parents and cut up the bodies. He ran off before they could arrest him, but when police investigated, they found his mother's head in the vegetable crisper of the refrigerator, just like the fridge in our guy's shed. And Charles Rogers in Houston, he was never arrested. He's still at large.
Okay, when was this?
1965.
Okay, so a teenager in 1965?
No.
What?
He wasn't a teenager. He was 43.
What?
He was 43 when he disappeared. His parents were both in their 80s.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
Cody, do the math. If a man was 43 in 1965, that would make him
94.
94 today. Did our Mr. Rogers look 94 to you?
Well, no.
He probably isn't even 60.
Okay. JJ, would you please take Cody to the hospital? I think that knock on his head is a bit more serious than we thought.
Okay.
I don't really think that's necessary.
I have to get back to the station and check on our interdimensional duck.
No worries, he's fine.
Hi, Major. How'd the exam work out?
It's a duck. A male mallard, I believe.
And that's all?
Oh, as far as I can tell, yes. No robotics or artificial enhancements. Of course, I can't rule out nanotechnology until I've analyzed his blood.
Whoa, you got a sample of the duck's blood? I'm surprised Abby let you.
Oh, she held him and cried.
Of course she did.
Grandpa, they don't believe me.
Oh, about the Icebox Killer? Did you show them the Wikipedia article?
Of course.
I think the head in the fridge is just a coincidence.
And his name?
Another coincidence. Major, Cody tells me this man was 43 in 1965. Our Mr. Rogers doesn't look a day over 60.
Well, that's a problem.
I'm glad you agree. Now, we've all had an exciting evening, so I think it would be best if we just...
Cody, I can see only one solution here.
Me too. It's obvious.
Time travel.
What?
Oh, for the love of all that is...
All the parts you collected are still in the workshop?
Yes. I'll start there and get things organized.
Check. I'll go back to that fiend's shed and have a look around before the police mess it all up.
Now, wait a minute.
Don't worry, Sam. I won't touch the fridge. But I have to look around Roger's living space to see if there are any clues as to his time travel device.
He does not have a time travel device. That's impossible.
No, just very unlikely. Chances are it's a natural phenomena. The duck is probably involved too. Sam, you'd better go see Abby before she triggers it and ends up falling into the Wayback Machine.
What?
Major, wait.
I won't touch anything, I promise.
Oh, Sam, how about you follow Major? I go back to the station and check on Abby.
Cody still needs to go to the hospital. And Cody...
snuck out when you were arguing with Grandpa.
Great. All right, your plan. Just don't let anything happen to that duck.
If it triggers any portals, I hereby promise not to step through.
Don't let Abby step through either.
Well, if I'm going to keep Abby from doing something she wants to do, I'm going to need to borrow your gun.
No. I got a messed up crime scene, a head in the fridge, a missing murderer, and an interdimensional duck on my hands. The last thing I need is an accidental shooting.
All right. Wouldn't be the worst thing if a portal opened. As a matter of fact, it would be normal.
I know. That's what I'm afraid of.
This has been Radio Icebox Season 2, Episode 5, Houston, We Have Your Problem. Featuring Ayla McIntosh as Abby, Jim Yunt as Sam, Tom Bement as Major, Jeffrey Adams was JJ, and Cody Boyer played Cody. Fire Maidens of the Death Sun featured Scotta Turner as Cora, Gavia Yunt as young Cora, Tom Bement as Bud, and Ayla McIntosh as the narrator. Fire Maidens, as well as the air check portion of our show, and the rest of the story, was written and directed by Jeffrey Adams. Our guest caller this week was Alexander Danner, co-creator of the great audio fiction podcast Greater Boston. You can hear episodes and learn more about him at greaterbostonshow.com. Some sound effects from the Freesound Project at freesound.org. A complete list of music and sound effects credits is available at iceboxradio.org/credits. The Radio Icebox Playhouse theme song is Monkeys Spinning Monkeys by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Radio Icebox Season 2 is made possible in part by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council, thanks to appropriations from the Minnesota State Legislature's General and Arts and Cultural Heritage Funds.
The kind of music men hum or whistle when they feel on top of the